Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the April Planning Commission meeting. We have a pretty lengthy agenda, and so we're going to go ahead and get started. Staff, if you would read the opening statement.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the April 2025 Augusta Commission Chambers. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm reading it wrong. Let me start over. Welcome to April's Planning Commission meeting. The Augusta, Georgia Planning Commission is a recommending body. The final decision on all zoning matters coming before it will be made by the Augusta Commission on Tuesday, April 15th, 2025 at 2 p.m. in the Augusta Commission chambers at the Municipal Building. So right here where you are right now. The Planning Commission makes the final decision on all variances, including subdivision regulations. A handout describing the zoning procedures from which these cases are decided is available upon request. These procedures also require that any applicant for a rezoning action or any opponent to an application for a rezoning action who has made contributions aggregating $250 or more to a local government official within 2 years of the rezoning application to file a disclosure report with the governing authority. The disclosure report must be filed within 10 calendar days of filing the application and at least 10 calendar days prior to today's meeting. A minimum of 10 minutes shall be afforded for the presentation of data, evidence, and opinions on each side of the rezoning petition or a special exception. If more than 10 minutes is afforded to one side, then an equal amount of time shall be afforded to the other side. The Augusta Commission encourages participation in this hearing, and there is no restriction on who may address the commission within the allotted time. But the commission asks that the public comments be brief, on subject, and non-repetitive, and directed to the commission, not to any individual applicant or group. All right, sir.
Thank you for that, staff. So we have a couple of amendments to our agenda. Do you want to go ahead and address those?
Yes, sir. With regards to the April 2nd Planning Commission, there are a total of 12 items on the agenda. Of those 12, we have 2 who have requested to be withdrawn. They will require a vote. That is 25-12. It is an application in regards to 2303 Golden Camp Road. They're asking to withdraw without prejudice. On number 4 on the agenda, they are asking for to withdraw without prejudice with regards to a special exception to establish a convenience store. In addition to that, item number 6, 25-14, it's a petition to amend a PUD, and they are asking to be postponed while they work through further details. So we would require a vote for the withdrawal of 3 and 4 and the postponement of 6.
Move to approve without prejudice.
All right. So we have Mr. Cooks and Mr. Smith as the second. All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. That means that items number 3, 4, and 6 on today's agenda will not be heard. Sir, because of the nature of the applications presented to us today, we would like to request that items number 9 and items number 10 be respectfully moved to items number 3 and number 4.
Move to approve, Mr. Chairman.
All right. We've got Cooks and Smith. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. That being said, sir, if we can take it top to bottom, we will.
We will, top to bottom with the voted upon amendments.
All right. Number 1 is application Z-25-07, and it is a petition by Southern Civil Solutions LLC on behalf of Property Developers LLC, requesting a rezoning from Zone R1A to Zone R1E one-family residential in order to develop a townhome community affecting properties containing approximately 41.5 acres located at 3302, 3304, 3306, 3308, 3310, 3312, 3316, and 3330 Gibson Road. In addition to that, it's 3320 Wind Drive, 3227 Tate Road, and those tax map parcel numbers are included in your application and in your packet, and staff will present further details. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Amanda Cruz, Planner 1 with Planning and Development. And I'll go ahead and start the presentation of Z-2507. This application involves 10 adjacent residential parcels totaling 41.5 acres of land. The petition seeks to rezone the properties from R1A one-family residential to R1E one-family residential to develop single-family attached townhome development containing 319 lots. The tracts are currently vacant, undeveloped land. The concept plan presented with the rezoning application proposes the following: 319 attached townhome units with lot widths of 26 to 41 feet with an overall density of 7.7 acres per unit, or units per acre, 10.59 acres of open space, public streets throughout the development with 6 neighborhood entrances and exits, guest parking spaces dispersed throughout the development, mail kiosks, as well as a clubhouse and a pool, 3 stormwater detention ponds, and a 15-foot buffer surrounding the development on all sides. This proposed development is part of the South Augusta Character Area. And this character area reflects a mix of housing types, preserving the suburban-style single-family neighborhoods, while medium-density residential developments are added in a targeted manner to diversify housing options. Moving into the findings, there are no recent zoning actions for the property. In an R1E zone, proposed developments must maintain a minimum of 25% open space. This development offers approximately 25.5% open space, which satisfies the zoning requirement. The site has access to public water, but not sanitary sewer. According to the FEMA flood insurance rate maps firm, the properties are not located within a special flood hazard area. According to the Richmond County GIS map layers, there are no wetlands located on the properties. Public transit is not available near the properties. According to the Georgia Department of Transportation State Functional Classification map, Gibson Road, Wind Drive, and Tate Road are all classified as local roads. Based on the preliminary traffic impact assessment worksheet, our traffic engineering department has indicated that a traffic study shall need to be conducted to determine needed improvements to the existing road infrastructure. The development provides 2 parking spaces per driveway, which totals 638 driveway spaces. The development must provide 80 guest parking spaces, but currently on the concept plan has provided 21 spaces. Adjacent zoning districts to the north are R1A, one-family residential, and agriculture. Properties to the south and west are zoned R1A, one-family residential. Properties to the east are zoned R1A, R1E, which is one-family residential and agriculture. The proposed change in zoning to R1E would be consistent with the 2023 comprehensive plan. However, the overall density of the surrounding area is around 4.3 units per acre. So this would be a little bit over. At the time of the completion of this report, staff have received many inquiries regarding the petition as advertised. We did receive comments from both our engineering departments and utilities. Our engineering department gave us a few comments that I'll read here. They state that Gibson Road, Mason Drive, and Wind Drive currently do not meet Augusta standards for road systems to support the number of lots and vehicle traffic that will result from the development of this tract of land. Engineering requests that upgrading of these roads to current standards. Additionally, the new proposed interior road system indicates a 60-foot right-of-way width with 28 feet of road. It is not clear if that is 28 feet from back of curb or 28 feet of paved section with curbing on each side. Current standards are 31 feet back of curb to back of curb. Engineering requests that the interior roads meet current standards. Additionally, there are several roads within the development that have significantly acute angles to the intersecting roads that could cause sight distance issues for the drivers, causing safety issues. Engineering requests that interior roads intersect at 90-degree angles or as allowed by AED traffic engineering. Additionally, our utilities have said that there is a water line that is available for their use on Gibson Road. There's a sewer line that is available for their use on Mason Road that would need to be extended to their site. They need to make sure that when they're laying out the lots, that they accommodate AUD requirements on water and sewer service locations. If water and sewer service locations cannot be met on their lots, they will need to look at master metering this site, and all sewer will be private once it hits their site. This concludes staff presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Is the petitioner present? If you could come forward, sir, give us your name, address, and any new details on your development.
Good afternoon. My name is Gary Bennett with Southern Civil Solutions. I'm here on behalf of the developer, Property Developers LLC, who, like KBS, introduce himself. I'm 5810 Carriage Hills Drive, Martinez, Georgia.
Greetings, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Kavyesh Trivedi. I represent Property Developers LLC. We are the developer for this land.
And we don't have anything to add. We agree with the conditions set forth and staff's recommendations.
Commissioners, do you have any questions of the petitioner? No? Seeing none, anyone in the audience is opposed to this petition? All right, keep your hands up, please. All right, supporters of this petition? Does anybody want to speak in opposition to this project? Okay. All right, since we have multiple people, to keep this orderly, what I'll ask is all the opposition, you'll have 10 minutes total. So if you have a spokesperson or if you have multiple people that want to talk, we just ask that you exhaust your entire 10 minutes, address your comments to the commission specifically, and then we'll allow the developer to respond. Okay, so if someone from the opposition wants to come up to begin the 10 minutes.
All right. Good afternoon. My name is Andrew Jordan Davis. I have properties at 2309 Mason Road, 2311 Mason Road, 2316 Mason Road, 2319 Mason Road, 2321 Mason Road, and 3340 Milledgeville, which also has 300 foot of Mason Road frontage. So I currently own 5 out of the 8 properties on Mason Road, and as discussed with this potential townhomes going back there, the road conditions, there is no lane divider or marker paint. There, it's very narrow and hard to pass if 2 cars are going by. There's no current sidewalk. As y'all know, they are developing, I think, about 50 or 60 houses at the end of Mason Road and the Bellmead Landing. And my concern is for the, as mentioned, the water and sewage. We do not have sewer available, from what I understand, or all the houses I own are on sewage. And so that would be my concern, is just, are we able to house the growth as a, city and county in that area in District 5 to accommodate all the adding of 38 parking spaces, potential vehicles just in that development, not to mention the ongoing project that's going at Bell Meeting Landing. So my concern would be, we don't even have streetlights down Mason Road or most of Gibson or anything Corner Street over there. So I'm glad they restored the gas station convenience store. But that would be just kind of like, are we able to accommodate and the infrastructure to support that amount of people? Not to mention the school system. If these single houses are able to have kids going as well, will the surrounding area be able to accommodate all that growth plan and everything that come with it? So just consider that in y'all's decision. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Paul Adams. I live at 3340 Wind Drive, next to 3320, where y'all gonna put a road from there to Tate Road, Gibson. I would really appreciate you don't put no road there. You can come off of Collier, Gibson, and Tate Road. I appreciate it if you don't come off Wind Drive, because Wind Drive ain't like 20 feet wide, and people speed up down the road, and I actually got hit by a car about where that spot is, And I said, got people go to daycare, throw diapers on the ground and all that, and you're gonna create one big mess over there. But I really appreciate you don't put no road right there next to 3340 Wind Drive, which that's 3320, right next to my property. I've been there since 1980, and I'm hoping I'm gonna die there. But I really appreciate you don't put no road there. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Constance Thompson. I own 2 pieces of property right there directly in front of these townhomes that are going on Gibson Road. I totally oppose it. I'm sorry. My husband has been there since he was 2 years old, and he is 66. And they're going to level every tree. All of our wildlife will be gone. We have a pond behind our house that Richmond County doesn't give a damn about. It actually, what do you call it? I'm nervous and I apologize, but the dam broke 4 years ago. You know what Richmond County said? Sorry. They didn't do a damn thing. All of our wildlife is gone. What we do have left across the street, you're fixing to get rid of that. All in the name of $1. So, I've said my piece. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Deborah Brown. I've lived at 3310 Wynn Road since I was a child and raised my children there. The road isn't wide enough. We already have a daycare down there. We've had to take the kids, couldn't go on the roads at certain times of day because they speed up and down and going down through there. The new development they've already started back on the other road. My husband's got pictures where they're going back there already, racing their cars in circles and donuts. We're getting shootings all the time. We've had them from the apartments up the street from us. We've had bullets come through a friend of ours' roof, shootings, killings. It's just bad enough with the neighborhoods we have now. But the road isn't big enough for 2 cars to go down. You have to pull over to the side to go through. But if they try to widen it, they're going to take most of my land right in the front. And it's not good. If y'all want to go down there and look at it yourselves and take pictures, there's no way. But I appreciate y'all listening.
Just a time update. The opposition has a balance of 5 minutes, so if you can make your comments brief so that we can hear from all the individuals. Thank you.
My name is Stephanie DeBrule. I just recently bought 3312 and 3314. As a new resident, I can confirm the previous owners, inquiries about the traffic, the street.
Excuse me,
It's
Mr.
not,
Chairman, need the
it's not
address.
large enough.
Oh, I'm sorry, if you could state your name and address.
Stephanie DeBrule, 3312 Wind Drive, and I also have 3314. And as a new resident, I can just confirm what the previous lot owners were saying. There's not enough road for this. There's blind spots. There's a daycare, and traffic is pretty bad already. So, thank you.
Hi there, y'all. My name is Tommy Adams. I live on Fairway Drive. We have properties in the area. One of the questions was, I heard that they're going to widen the road on Wind Drive, or wanting to. The road right now is
Mr. Chairman,
one car.
excuse me, he did not give his address, please, for the record.
Sir, if you give your name and your address.
1928 Fairway Drive, 3340 Wind Drive, and also Mills Road we own. Wind Drive is just one car passable. And to take that much property, we would lose a huge part. And one of the entrances they have going to the property is right next to 3340. And I know improvements is a big time, but they'll be taking away a lot of property, and it's not feasible. Another entrance maybe, I don't know, but certainly not on Wind Drive. Thank y'all.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Bobby Williams. Y'all want to know where I stay? 3105 Bellmead Drive, pretty close to where the development is. I have one thing I want to ask you. Yesterday, they came to us and we had a meeting on yesterday. They did present some things, but they didn't have anything definite. They had pictures of maybe some condos that they might build, that they might not build. They talked about doing certain things, like maybe a professional building, not knowing exactly what they would put there. They talked about a road coming out to Tate Road, which is something that I question because Tate Road really can't handle any more traffic. Dr. Malik did say, well, it might just be an emergency road. As you can see, you have some other constituents, and they talked about some other concerns. The only thing that I want to ask, I'm not saying that we're for it. I'm not saying that we're against it. I've got some people that are going to come behind me. They have some issues also. We just want a little time. If you could give us a couple of weeks, bring this back, let us sit down. We want to talk with the developers and a more extensive conversation rather than what we had yesterday. Somebody put something up on the board and people had a couple of questions. It's kind of like they threw it at us, but we kind of comprehended, didn't comprehend, what have you. We want to be able to sit down with them, have a conversation, let the folks have a conversation. They're talking about roads. I didn't even know a Gibson Road existed until yesterday. I knew about Gibson Drive, but not Gibson Road. I didn't even know a Mason Road existed. So if you could, can we delay the decision and just come back in a couple of weeks? You guys can vote it up, vote it down in a couple of weeks, but we want to be able to look at it, look at the plan and work out some things with these developers. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Barbara Grant. I live at 3225 Tate Road, next to the property 3227, where they're saying that they're going to put a street. I oppose that. As Mr. Williams said, we have a lot of traffic. We have put humps along there. And with a street coming next to my house, before, it's going to be awful. There was a road at one time, and I asked the property owner to do something about it. And the property owner at that time did do something about it because there were cars going back and forth in 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. I oppose this. I do not oppose development, but I oppose the way that it was presented to us yesterday. It was not presented in a form where we could understand. And I would just like also, as Mr. Williams said, give us enough time to actually look at what the developers are trying to do and why they're trying to do it, and why they put it in the place where they're trying to put it. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is George M. Brown. I live at 3107 Bellamy Drive. I come to oppose the project as presented to us yesterday. It was the first time I've seen my local government act and want the citizens to make a decision about a project that we didn't know anything about. And the developers could not answer our question yesterday, but I want you to think about this. When was the last time you, as a commission, approved a project that had 400 units in it? This property is going to have 400 units, 399 townhomes, which we call glorified apartments. No one could answer the question about the density. What I mean by that, when you change it from a R1, how many units would be on a site, on a lot? No one could give it that answer. Will these be 1 or 2 bedrooms, or 3 or 4 bedroom facilities? Nobody could give us an answer. So we asked that the developer, I thought they were willing to meet with us, and we delayed this after we have a discussion and work out some things with that. So I ask you as a commission, give us time. You guys know more about this project than the people live in the area. And that's a sad commentary on us as officials in the community. We don't want to have a dumping ground in our community just because someone want to build in Richmond County. We need to bring up South Augusta just like we bring up West Augusta. So I ask you respectfully, decline this application for item number 1, and let us give it a developer and work out some of our deficits. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The time is exhausted, sir. Do you have some brief comments?
Yes, I think the main concern, just talking with Michelle and me, is really where it goes on Gibson out, where she's going to look outside of her house and see townhomes. If it's in an area where it's contained, just like these 60 houses they're doing at Belmead Landing, it's a development in its area and not extruding out to being an eyesore in a way, or just out of the norm and just not fitting into what is already there. So I think more of our concern is just it being in one area and not extending out. And like the other proposed areas where it's on Mason Road as well, or over there, you have 12 here, 16 here or there. It's more of just being able to have it confined. So, thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, so now we'll go to the developer to respond to the comments that you've just heard.
Well, we've reviewed the conditions as far as the roadway improvements and the sewer, so we understand what's involved there, and we're committed to do that for the project. Some of the other things, we have no control over: the crime, the wildlife, things of that we can't control, but we will look into the infrastructure and make sure that it's adequate and meet county standards going forward for this project.
Okay. Now I am going to defer to staff.
Chairman, in light of the information provided by the engineering department at 12:41 p.m. today, planning and development staff would like to amend their recommendation to request a postponement so that they may come back with a concept plan by the developer that would address Gibson Road, Mason Drive, and Wynn Drive currently because they do not meet the road system standards for Augusta Richmond County. We'd also like for them to come back with the proposed interior road system outlined. And then in addition to that, there are several roads in the development that have significantly acute angles. So we would like for them to address those three items. And we would like for them to do it in a concerted method. So we would like to amend and ask for a postponement of this particular plan so they can address the comments from engineering that we received today. And that's staff's recommendation officially.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to add an amendment to that as well, is that they meet with the community to discuss this issue before it comes back to us, in addition to what staff recommendation is.
Director Delaney, can you reflect that in your recommendations?
Is the commission wanting to host it, or are you wanting the developer to host it as they did last time?
Provided they can meet with the community and they come back to us with some concise information, that would be great.
So Chairman, the developer would need to commit to hosting that as part of the recommendation.
Sir, are you amenable to those recommendations from staff?
Yes, we are. We will again like to go through the Commissioner Clark hosted the meeting yesterday. We were planning it 2 days ago, but unfortunately due to inclement weather, we had to pre-postpone it. And again, we'll include Planning and Zoning Commission because they can answer the R1 zoning versus R1A versus R1E. I think they had kind of like provided the information, but again, if it's not clear, we can again do that. Definitely we can discuss more.
Okay. Chairman will entertain a motion.
Move to approve as presented, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
So for clarification, that is a motion to postpone to give them an opportunity to address the engineering department conditions and to host a secondary community meeting. Okay? We're going to do a roll call vote. Or actually, let's do it all in favor. Can we do a raise your hands? And the item number 2 is going to be closely associated with it. So we'll be coming right after that for another vote. All right, Amber, take it away.
Let's do it all in favor of the postponement of Z2507. Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. All right, and we are doing the other one as well. Okay, and that was Z2511. We're gonna postpone that until our May meeting as well. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. All right, thank you.
Next item on the agenda is actually item number 9 in your packet or on the printed agenda, and it is a petition by JSMG Development LLC requesting a rezoning from Zone R1A to Zone R1E to develop a townhome community of 72 units affecting property containing approximately 11.22 acres located at 1514 Goshen Circle. It's on page 81 in your packets, and staff will give further details.
Mr. Chair, I'm going to be recusing myself from those 2 items.
Okay. Staff, before you move forward, if I could get everybody to exit the chambers, if you're going out, please do so at this time. thank you. Let's continue.
Good afternoon, Brian Kepner, zoning administrator. Zoning case Z-25-17. As stated, this is a request to rezone approximately 11.31 acres located at 1415 Goshen Circle from R1A to R1E to develop a single-family attached residential townhome development consisting of 72 lots. The tract is currently vacant and undeveloped. A previous application, rezoning application, Z22-24, was considered by the Planning Commission in May of 2022 and was continued until the July meeting when it was withdrawn by the applicant. The concept plan submitted with the rezoning application proposes 72 attached townhome units consisting of 26-foot wide by 100-foot long lots. A density of 6.3 dwelling units per acre for the development, 3.62 acres of open space, access to the development by extending Goshen Circle. Roadways within the development will consist of public streets, a 20-foot west buffer on the west side, and a 10-foot buffer along the north, east, and south side of the property, and amenity areas consisting of a dog park and playground. A maximum density of 10 dwelling units per acre is allowed in the R1E zoning district. The proposed development would consist of 6.3 dwelling units per acre. R1E zoning requires a development to have at least 25% open space. The proposed development offers 32% of open space. A minimum 10-foot buffer yard is required along the side and rear yard perimeter boundary of the property. The submitted conceptual site plan indicates a 20-foot buffer along the west property line where the existing single-family homes are located, a 10-foot buffer along the north and west property lines next to the golf course, and a 10-foot buffer on the south property line adjacent to vacant land. Stormwater detention is planned at the lowest elevations along the north boundary of the property and will be maintained by a homeowners association. Goshen Drive would be extended approximately 1,400 feet, forming a loop providing access to all the lots within the subdivision. The existing road right-of-way on Goshen Circle does not contain sidewalks, but sidewalks will be required on both sides of streets created within the proposed subdivision. The submitted conceptual site plan shows sidewalks on both sides of the extended Goshen Circle. The proposed development of 72 attached single-family homes requires a minimum of 162 parking spaces. The submitted conceptual site plan shows 2 parking spaces per lot and 20 parking spaces for guests for a total of 164 spaces. The site has access to public water, and public sanitary sewer is approximately 125 feet from the property, requiring the developer to extend sanitary sewer to the property. According to the FEMA flood insurance rate maps, the property is not located within a special flood hazard area. According to the Augusta-Richmond County GIS map layers, there are no wetlands located on the property. Public transit is not available near the property. According to the Georgia Department of Transportation State Functional Classification map, the Goshen Circle is classified as a local road. The adjacent zoning districts to the west is R1A, consisting of single-family homes ranging in size from approximately a quarter acre to 1/3 of an acre. To the north and east is the Goshen Plantation Golf Course, zoned R1, and agriculture. The property to the south is vacant and is zoned R1A. The Goshen Lake Drive South is the only means of ingress and egress to the Goshen Retreat subdivision, consisting of 95 lots, and the proposed development. Number of lots planned within this development exceeds the maximum number of lots permitted for a single access street within a subdivision and will require approval of a subdivision variance from section 30200 of the land subdivision regulations, which requires 2 entrances for developments between 100 and 200 lots. The proposed rezoning is consistent with the 23 comprehensive plan, and at the time of completion of the report, staff has received inquiries concerning the petition as advertised, and that concludes staff's report.
Thank you. Is the petitioner present? You come forward, sir, and give us your name and your address, any new information on your project. Yeah, that's fine.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mark Green. This is Mr. Justin Boland, and we're members of JSMG Development.
Your address, sir.
My address
Address,
is
yeah.
4971 Fulcher Road in Hepzibah, Georgia. Just looking at what we're looking at there, the proposal for the open space is well more than the minimum requirement. We, again, as the staff recommended, the comprehensive plan does state in it that to provide an infill residential development at appropriate locations at a slightly higher density that would still be compatible. And I'm sure as most here are aware that Goshen does have, within a 3/4 mile radius from where we're at, does have existing condominiums and townhomes that have either been there for quite an established period of time or are being developed very recently. JSMG has been one of the few, if not the only, company that has taken kind of an interest in kind of helping to revitalize an already well-established neighborhood. If y'all are familiar, we have set up, I think, 6 lots of residential homes there already to be able to be provided for the area. It was 9, I apologize, not 6, it was 9. But yeah, we're seeking to, as just the staff said, we're seeking to have 72 units there. I think one of the major issues, I think, is a cause of concern maybe of traffic for the inflow and outflow for that one area. However, in case law, the intensification of uses is not in itself harmful to the public welfare. And furthermore, generalized claims that a rezoning will result in an increased traffic or noise, or that the current zoning is necessary to protect the character of neighborhoods are insufficient to prove the current zoning benefits the public health, safety, morals, and welfare. Okay, thank you.
All right, commissioners, do you have any questions of the petitioner? Okay, seeing none. All right, is anybody in the audience opposed? You got a question?
I do.
Okay, hold on just a second, I'm sorry. Commissioner Smith.
I actually have 3 questions. One, that you're providing 32%, and you've, excuse me, I've been sick, so I apologize. You talked specifically about the amount of open space that you're providing, and you made it sound like y'all have done something that's really wonderful. The 32% of open space, does that also include the detention facility? Is that space that you're counting, or is that separate outside your figure?
Sir, before you answer, could you give us your name and address? Thank you.
Thank you. Philip Green, 1233 Augusta West Parkway, Augusta 30907. No, it does not. It also does not include the dog park and playground amenity area. It's only the areas that are shaded in green.
Okay. The second question I had is Goshen Drive's going to need to be extended by 1,400 feet. Are y'all going to incur that cost?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All the roadway system that's up there would be incurred by the
So the county will not have to be responsible for any of that?
No, sir.
Okay. And I had a third question, but I think Ms. Delaney answered that question for me earlier, so I appreciate your answers. Thank you.
Sure, thank you.
Okay. All right, now, anybody in the audience opposed to this development? Keep your hands up for a second. Okay, anybody in support? Okay, all right, anybody want to speak on it from the opposing side? Okay, all right, so you guys have a balance of 10 minutes. If you could make your comments directly to the Planning Commission. And once you have exhausted those 10 minutes, we'll allow the petitioner to respond.
So I'll try to get with the program. My name's Linda Williams. My address is 4425 Goshen Lake Drive South. Okay.
Got your photographs here.
Okay, good. I sent in some photographs so you could get an idea of, this is an older neighborhood. There's no sidewalks, there's no curb, and there's no even lines on the road. So how do I page through them? Good, okay. So this is the entrance to Goshen Retreat. Hit that? All right, that looks the big arrow going that way, yeah, okay. So this is where you come into the neighborhood. This is going down Goshen Lake Drive South. This is turning on the Circle Drive. And then back there in the back, and you can see how close these houses are to where all this traffic's going to be going in and out. And that's, the safety of this is our primary concern. It just seems like a lot of traffic, and there's no option for another road in and out. I've been asked to present the results of, we've already had a community meeting on this, and we already have a petition. There's 94 homes in the retreat. We already have 77 that are opposed to this, that have signed it. We actually have 124 signatures from the retreat, 44 from Goshen Plantation, and we did on Facebook, and we had 79 on Facebook that were other ones. So a total of 247 petition signatures already. We're not even done yet. So just briefly, I serve as the president of the Residents Association, so I think that's how I got up here speaking. But I want to summarize what the results of our meeting the other night that we had. We were talking about 2 years ago, we were here, we were opposing the same development, same rezoning request, and all the same problems still exist. There's only one entrance into Goshen Retreat, so we feel like that this variance should not be approved. The entire proposed development is surrounded by the Goshen Golf Course, so there's literally no way to put in another entrance or exit, which would make a huge difference if all these cars had another way to get in and out. We're concerned about increased traffic congestion. This could add 140 or more vehicles in and out every day. Even with the original zoning of 20-plus homes, we feel that there is no option for a second entrance or exit. The developer would need to be responsible for upgrading the roads going in and out of the retreat, including the sidewalks. We have people that walk their dogs, walk their children, kids ride their bikes, and also the school bus stops in the neighborhood. The children stand on the street because there's no curb, there's no sidewalk, so they don't have any choice. Also, a fireman in our community took a look at these plans, and he was concerned about the fact that the houses are very close together and there's restricted motion for an emergency vehicle to get in and out. Current storm drains throughout the retreat are so old that the corrugated pipe is deteriorating. Added traffic is only going to accelerate this problem. Heavy equipment will be on our roads during construction. There'll be damage to the already deteriorating roadways. Neighbors have reported concerns about the state of the roads, and we've not had any action taken. People are concerned about the increased internet cell service. We already have problems with that in Goshen. We've also had problems with an increase in crime in the last 6-8 months, and having this many more people in the neighborhood is also a concern for increased crime. We're concerned about the displaced wildlife. We have a large urban deer population. We also have coyotes. There's a lot of critters in there. A lot of snakes, too. Probably wouldn't miss the snakes.
Ms. Linda,
Yep.
sorry to interrupt, but you have a couple other folks that would like to speak. So if you could yield some of your time to the other folks who are in opposition.
All right, well, so the one thing I'd like to say in closing is we do already have 3 sets of townhomes and 1 set of apartments. 20-plus homes are approved to be built. Neighborhood consensus was that Goshen Retreat could safely adjust to the building of these single-family homes comparable to the ones that are already there, and we could make that work. Thank you.
4 minutes. My name is Fred Ogden.
I'm at 4384 Goshen Lake Drive South. I've lived in Goshen Retreat for 33 years, past president of the Homeowners Association. Linda's already spoke to a lot of our concerns regarding safety and overcrowding and everything. And you saw all the hands of the people who object to this that are in here. I'd like to, if I can, ask you guys, show me a hand who weren't here 2 years ago when we had the same meeting about this same zoning request. So everybody was here before. So this is a rehash because nothing has changed. Nothing's changed from their proposal and nothing's changed with our response with our regards to our neighborhood and its safe community that we have and how we want to keep it that way. We constantly hear from the Richmond County Police Department about how good of a neighborhood we are. They're proud to be representing us when they come to our meetings because we have that safe neighborhood and we want to keep it that way. They speak highly of our homeowners association, our residents association, and our neighborhood watch, and they encourage other neighborhoods to come to us and try to learn what we do because we do it right. So now when this kind of thing comes, that's why we have such a big turnout, because we know how important this can be in the future of our retreat, to have 75 homes plucked in a little corner of our neighborhood with only one way in and out. And we know when we bought our property, we knew they could have 25 homes back there. And that's fine. Let JSMJ go ahead and build their 25 homes. We have no problem with that. Obviously, we can't. But now they want to make more money by having 75 homes. Townhomes, they call it. We went through that with the Village of Goshen. If some of you remember that, that started out with a promise and artist drawings of their townhomes, which were 4 units per building with a change in roof line, a change in the front, different floor plans, front yards, the whole 9 yards. It was great. They built 16 units in 4 buildings, a pool, a rec center, and a trail down by Spirit Creek. And then they had financial problems. They went under. And the people who took over promised us that they were going to build high-end townhomes. And now we have 125 high-end apartments. Well, I say that because the sign used to say 3 to 4 bedroom townhomes for sale. Now it says 3 to 4 bedroom townhomes for lease. So you can figure out what that means. I know we know what it means. So.
Okay, sir, there's a balance of 2 minutes. You have some other folks who would like to speak.
Yeah. One final point is if, I think this is part of your package. This is the property that we're talking about. This is the retreat. And I maintain that if we were to grant rezoning for this section, JSMG would be next purchasing this section with the same intent. Oh.
We're running out of time.
Well, yeah, that's okay. They got the thing, and they know what I mean. That's all right. I just think if you grant that rezoning, you'll set the precedent for future rezoning, and we can't handle any more than the 75 they're already requesting. Can't handle that. Thank you.
My name is Chuck Arnold. I live at 1518 Terra Court, which is on the south side of all this supposed buildup. 2 items that I want to say is we want to compare apples to apples because both of those places they talked about, the apartments, condos, whatever it is off the main road. It doesn't go through a neighborhood. The apartments go on the main road. They're not going through a neighborhood. This has to go all the way through our neighborhood to get to where we have to get to. That's number one. The second one is right behind my land is a creek. Runoff, heavy water, comes down, goes into this exact area they're talking about, but yet I see their retainment pond is on the entire other side of the development. So either I'm going to get flooded out every time it rains because if they start building that area up, it's going to start flowing right back into it because we have not one storm drain that goes on the very western border of what you just saw, but you also got water coming in to right in the middle of that project. Anywhere you see Goshen, that whole line right there, it runs right into that area. Every time heavy rain, you got a creek. So water's got to go somewhere, and I don't see anything in the plans at all to fix this problem, the issue. And also the traffic coming in and out. Been there for 30 years, so I understand what they're talking about traffic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Earl Spates, 4008 Goshen Lane South. I'm about a block away from where they're going to put this establishment at. You've heard people talk about safety, but I'm going to throw one thing at you here. There's a saying, the straw that breaks a camel back. If you know a camel, that's supposed to be impossible because a straw doesn't have that much weight. So it's not the straw that's the problem, it's that the camel is carrying so much load till even a light weight of a straw has caused it to collapse. We are at our point. We are loaded. There's no space for 72 units to come, and that will be breaking that camel back. That means somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody's child, somebody's running. I'm a runner. I've been living in Goshen for 30 years. I don't have to go and find a trail because it's the best place I can run and I feel safe there. But the last 5 years, not as safe. That new unit townhouse that he's talking about, I've been in Goshen and never seen an accident. Besides 2 since they've placed that right in front of those units because it's hard to get in and out on that main road. Safety should come first, not a building. We are talking about people. We are talking about life and death.
All right, thank you. Thank you for your patience. The time is exhausted, but if you could just make your comments brief.
Yes, well, my name is Haley Hibbets, and I'm at 3910 Goshen Lane North, right on the side of this road that they're wanting to build these townhomes on. So my problem is, one, we were fine with houses being built back there, but you got to think about the influx of traffic being brought through that area. People try to walk. You can't walk already without it being a problem, and there's already people who drive 50 mile per hour and nothing being done about it. Somebody's going to end up getting killed or hurt, and it's going to become a bigger issue in the end. And also, not only that, but whenever I bought my house in Goshen, nobody wants to look out their backyard and see townhomes. And it's just the influx of people is really going to become an issue.
Thank you. All right, the petitioner has the opportunity to respond to the comments that they have heard.
My name is Justin Boland, 236 Altamaha Drive, North Augusta, South Carolina. One thing that I would point out is I understand the safety is a concern. I'm a proponent and grew up in South Augusta. I've actually been in the Goshen area for a very long time, sold a lot of houses, done a lot of business there. But I would go back to the initial conception of when the neighborhood was developed, when the streets were developed. There's an additional 24 acres to that backside of the property. Yes, we own approximately 12. The acres that is to the southwest side of that is undeveloped. However, we have tried to approach the owner on that. We've tried to obtain that property to no avail at this point. I believe the density overall, Philip Green can speak better to this, would approximately be 70 individual detached houses if we acquired both of those properties, which would be very equivalent to what we're having here. Townhouses actually have less traffic flow per day between the hours of 9 to 5 than that of single-family detached residential by the number of 3. In addition to that, the property that is to our southwest side has a wetland which makes it impassable to one side, which would in turn flow all the traffic right back in the exact same direction of what they're proposing that we do. So with that being said, this is, in our opinion, not a detriment to the community. It's something that is going to positively uplift the community, not bring the community down. As far as the safety with the roads, the sidewalks, we offer to the residents that are already there, please come use our sidewalks that we're going to provide. Unfortunately, the original developer did not have the forethought to think of the safety of the people that are walking on the street. I have children. We play in our street. When cars come, I tell them to get out of the road. Very simple. Thank you.
All right. Did you have something that you wanted to add, sir?
I could if I got just a couple
Sure.
minutes. A couple of things as far as the runoff goes and the existing runoff versus what we may or may not do out there with our grading. Everything that we would do would be contained on site and directed to the detention pond. I am aware of the stream that runs, and as as Mr. Bowen indicated, the wetlands area that's on that other tract, that there is significant water that runs through. We do have the opportunity, you can see from the drawing, even though we did a 20-foot buffer against those existing single-family residentials, I mean, we do have the opportunity to extend that, if that would please the commission. You know, we could probably make that a 30-foot buffer, just to provide that break between the backyards of those existing family residential and our townhome units. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We're going to move to staff recommendations. Oh, you had a question, Commissioner?
I do.
Commissioner Smith.
Gentlemen, we're in a difficult position. We want to try to support people that are trying to make things better in the county by investment. And yet we have to realize that there are people that have been in our community for 35 years who have contributed to our community. And is it just the bottom line of dollars that you're not willing to do single-family homes back there? Is that your answer?
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, can we have the audience not refrain from comment?
Sure.
Yeah, because it's my question to the developer. Let him have an opportunity to respond, please.
I'll start, and Mr. Bowen did want to add something. Obviously, he doesn't know what I'm going to say, so. But we have looked at the single-family concept in this area. Between costs of construction, particularly on this site, you can see how large that detention area is. And with the single access, there's no possible other way to deal with those sorts of issues. The costs are just prohibitive. I can't see anybody moving in there and doing single family to do the construction on this piece of property.
Certainly, that's your answer. I think there's people in the community out there who feel differently about that, and you would be much more received by the Goshen community if you were to be able to work something out with them. So I just wanted to hear it from y'all.
And if I may add, so we have a situation where the cost to develop 24 individual lots would essentially cost each individual lot to come to the consumer, being a builder, at around $90,000 per lot. So if you do that, do the math, you have to build a $500,000 house in a median household income area in the 30906, $42,000. It would be just as one gentleman spoke about, which is already in the community, to where they overbuilt 2,800 square foot townhouses that were just not affordable for the people within the community. So we are bringing the best value to the community that we can. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to move to staff recommendations.
Chairman, because 9 and 10 are closely associated, would it be okay if we go ahead and, before we read the staff recommendation, look at the variance, because they are going to be contingent upon each other? I did get a response from the traffic engineer since the meeting started, so if we could take them together, that would be appreciated, sir. Sorry for the change up.
No worries. Let's take them together.
So item number 10, which is now number 4 on your agenda on page 91, is subdivision variance 25-02, and it is a petition by the same developers, JSMG Development, requesting a subdivision variance to develop a townhome community of 72 units with one access point from section 302 of the land subdivision regulations affecting property containing approximately 11.22 acres located at 1514 Goshen Circle. It's on page 91, and staff will give you further details.
Brian Kepner again. As stated, this involves the variance for one entrance for the 72-unit townhome subdivision. The applicant is requesting to allow for the one existing entrance to serve the existing subdivision and the proposed townhome subdivision, waiving the requirements for two entrances for cumulative subdivisions consisting of 100 to 200 lots. Section 30200 of the land subdivision regulations specify the number of entrances for ingress and egress depending on the number of lots within the subdivision. Subdivisions of 100 lots or greater, but less than 200 lots, require two entrances. Section 30200 also states that requirements for Multiple entrances shall be based on the cumulative number of lots for a contiguous development, whether or not it is developed in phases. Goshen Circle is connected to Goshen Lake Drive South, located within Goshen Retreat subdivision. Goshen Lake Drive South is the only entrance for the Goshen Retreat subdivision. Goshen Lake Drive South is connected to Goshen Road. Goshen Retreat subdivision consists of 95 single-family lots. The cumulative total of the existing single-family lots and the proposed additional 72 townhome lots are 187, thus requiring the second entrance for the combined subdivisions. Goshen Circle, Goshen Lake Drive South, and Goshen Road are public roads and are classified as local roads according to the Georgia Department of Transportation's Functional Classification Map dated 2017. There are no other possible access points for the property, as on two sides is the Goshen Plantation Golf Course, and the vacant property to the south, only access is also to Goshen Lake Drive South. And at the time of completion of this report, staff has received inquiries concerning the application. That concludes staff's report.
All right, is there anything new for your variance?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, Philip Green, 1233 Augusta West Parkway, 30907. I did want to point out that as staff presented, there are 95 existing homes that are using this road right now, and per that regulation, the cutoff being 100, that means that any development, even the 25 homes that have been talked about, it would require this variance. Anything beyond developing this piece of property with more than 4 homes would require this variance. So it's not specifically tied to townhomes. It's going to be tied to any development of this property beyond 4 lots.
Thank you, sir. Commissioners, do you have any questions for this particular petition? Okay, seeing none, staff, can we have the recommendations for both of these items?
Planning Commissioners, in light of the information that's been shared today and with regards to the subdivision variance first, one of the things that we wanted to make known is that at the start of the meeting, we did not have an official recommendation from traffic engineering, but at 3:47 p.m., the Assistant Director of Traffic Engineering, John Usry, notified us that they do not recommend approval of the subdivision variance. So in light of that, our recommendation for both the applications would be they are tangent. And if you wanted to approve a subdivision variance, I would suggest that you put a number of units that you would like to see it go over. To just say you can have the variance could leave it too open-ended, and that could create a problem down the road. So if the Planning Commission were inclined to say yes to some type of overage, I would strongly suggest that you number that. But in light of our colleagues over in engineering, we would recommend denial of the subdivision variance and denial of the R1E because we don't have a number of units outside of the 72 that they would like to request. And that concludes staff's recommendation for both.
Move to deny, Mr. Chairman.
Second. It has been moved and properly seconded.
Cooks and Davis. And that's a denial for both?
Yes.
Okay, so let's do a all in favor of denial of subdivision variance 2502 and Z2517. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no.
No.
Gotcha.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Smith.
Ms. Delaney, could I ask that on this particular issue, obviously this is going to be back before us at some point in time, that if it does come back to us, that rather than the commission imposing the number of lots and homes and things of that nature that the developer would be forced to deal with, that you and your staff have that available to us rather than us doing it, coming up with a number that y'all present that to us?
Well, sir, in this case, they are asking for 72. So my comment was if you were inclined, if you were going to say, well, maybe we reduce the density, I was just trying to give a suggestion, but the ask is there. And if you were going to recommend approval of R1E and this particular concept plan, we would be saying 72. Or I would have made that the recommendation for 72, not to exceed 72 new units. So it always comes with a recommendation. I was just trying to give some parameters if you were so inclined to try to get some type of approval for 20. Because again, if they came up here and said that they wanted to do 20 single-family detached homes, you would still need this subdivision variance. And then that subdivision variance would be for 15 lots, or 15 more units. So, yes, sir.
One last statement about that is that there are a lot of people involved in this, from the developer who has a financial standpoint, and then the people from Goshen who have lived there for quite a while. I find that when things come before us, that a lot of times if you will get in a room together and fight and scratch, and when the project that comes out on the other end turns out to be pretty good when it has everybody's involvement. So I would ask the developer and the Goshen people to at least make an effort to get together and come to some kind of compromise. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I do have one comment on top of Commissioner.
Okay. Commissioner O'Neill.
It seems like in this particular case, the subdivision needs some help. They addressed a lot of concerns with their road work, and it seems like both of them are trapped. They can't handle the expansion just because of the deterioration of what they're experiencing, and they don't know which way to go to get help with that. And I understand the concerns. We understand what the problems that Richmond County is experiencing, but I don't see how either party can go forward, no matter how many times they meet, because the person that has the pocketbook and the resources to help them find a way to fix those roads and the infrastructure is not there. So if this conversation is going to happen between the two entities, and they've been working, I mean, this is, they purchased this property back in 21. They need a little bit more guidance than that thing. That's my comment.
Mr. Chairman, I got one last question.
Okay, Commissioner Cook.
This is for staff. Is Goshen's roads public or private?
They're public, sir,
Okay, thank you.
except for within the apartment area.
Okay, thank you.
All right, well, there's been a vote taken, and so we are going to move forward our agenda.
Before we move forward, can I say one thing, since I've been standing here patiently?
Ma'am, we have exhausted that portion
They got more
already.
time.
I don't believe that they did. We've been keeping the time. Thank you.
Well,
However, you will have another opportunity at the full commission meeting. I'm not sure what that date is. 15. Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is Z-25-13. It is on page 46 in your packet, and it is a petition by Mark Stalings on behalf of Rising from the Ashes 3 LLC, requesting to amend light industrial zoning conditions from zoning case Z-23-32 to allow automobile body and fender repair affecting properties containing 3.36 acres located at 1810 and 1812 Gordon Highway. Staff will provide further details once the gallery is cleared.
Let's take a pause so that we can allow the individuals to exit the chambers.
That's Skrilla.
Okay, let's continue.
All right. Ryan Jones, Planner 1. This petition concerns two parcels totaling around 3.36 acres just northwest of the Gordon Highway and Milledgeville Road intersection. The parcels were rezoned as light industrial in July of 2022 to establish a warehouse. Approval of that rezoning was attached to 8 conditions. Condition number 7 reads as follows. The use of the subject property is limited to LI uses with the exception of automobile repair and service, animal kennels and boarding, automobile wrecking service, and any warehousing use that is considered to be noxious or injurious by reason of the production of or emission of dust, refuse matter, odor, gas fumes, noise, vibration, radiation, or similar substances or conditions is expressly prohibited for the subject property. The petitioner seeks for the property to be redeveloped for automobile collision repair and is therefore requesting to amend the conditions of that zoning case C-2232 such that there is no prohibition on automobile repairs and servicing. This is a use that would otherwise be a by right use in the LI zone. The subject property is located within the South Augusta character area. In its 2023 update, the comprehensive plan identifies that expansion of LI zoning within South Augusta should be limited. This request modifies previously established LI zoning but does not expand the footprint of LI zoning in the area. And to this end, the request is therefore consistent with the recommendations of the 2023 comprehensive plan update. The petitioner has presented plans to adapt the building and site for the business. No new structures appear to be proposed. The current building features non-conforming setbacks at the rear and side, each about 7.5 feet, with minimum requirements of 25 and 10 at the rear and side, respectively. Gordon Highway is classified by GDOT as a principal arterial route. Milledgeville Road, which runs just south of the property, is classified as a major collector route west of Gordon Highway and a minor arterial route east of Gordon Highway. Augusta Transit services Milledgeville Road to the south of the property, and there is a bus stop located along Milledgeville Road just west of the Milledgeville-Gordon intersection. There are public water and sewer lines established near the subject properties, and this stretch of Gordon Highway from Milledgeville Road west to Highland Avenue features a high concentration of industrial zoning with properties on the north end of Gordon Highway generally zoned HI and properties across Gordon Highway to the south generally zoned light industrial. The subject property backs up to a private road which services 3 properties, 1840 Days Drive, zoned LI and R1A, 1844 Days Drive, zoned R1A, and 2903 Milledgeville Road, zoned R3B, multiple family residential. 2901 Milledgeville Road, located south of 1810 Gordon Highway, is also zoned R1A. The property does not feature any wetlands, nor is it situated in any special flood hazard areas. And as of this report, staff have not received any inquiries from the public concerning this application. We did receive comments from the Utilities Department on this application. They note that there is a 10-inch water line on Milledgeville Road and an 8-inch sewer line on Gordon Highway available for use. If fire protection is needed, the water line would need to be extended to the property by the owner of the property along the front of Gordon Highway within the right-of-way. That concludes presentation.
Thank you. Is the petitioner present? All right, sir, if you can come forward and give us your name, address, and any new information on your project.
My name is Mark Stallings, 2669 Cravey Drive, Atlanta. We don't have new information, just that we expect to have to invest pretty heavily in the property. We'll extend the water supply line to the property for fire suppression. All of our equipment and manufacture or repair work will be inside the building, inside the confines of the building.
Yeah, as far as noise, my name is Tracy Bryan. I live at 3447 Conifer Trail, Evans, Georgia. As far as noise goes, the air compressors will be screw compressors, so they're virtually, you can't hear them at all if they were even in this room. They will be inside the building. All of our sanding is dustless sanding, so there will be no dust outside of the building. Also, the filtration system into the paint booths, virtually nothing goes into the atmosphere after it goes through the filtration system. This would be a state-of-the-art facility. Of course, it would be great for that community for us to upgrade that building. This is a national franchise. It's the largest auto body franchise in the nation. So with hopes that it would potentially draw more franchises to that area. That's it.
Thank you. Commissioners, you have questions?
Yeah, so you're not going to raise the building, you're actually going to repurpose the building, the old bowling alley, is that correct?
That is correct, yes, sir.
Okay. Are you going to try to move anything forward, because it's a huge parking lot?
We are not going to try to move anything forward.
Okay, okay.
Any additional questions from commissioners? Seeing none, anybody oppose this project? Anybody support? All right, staff recommendations.
Chairman, may I ask a clarifying question
Go ahead, Director.
of the
Lane.
applicant? Because this is light industrial, and this is for the planning commissioners also, I wanted to make sure that there wasn't going to be a hope or intent of installing a fence along the perimeter that would be, industrial allows for a taller fence than 6 feet. And this is still a major corridor, and I just wanted to make sure that you didn't have any concerns about me recommending a condition where you don't install a 8-foot fence along Gordon Highway, and then that become a bit of a eyesore from an aesthetic standpoint.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the question. Currently, there's already a fence on the, we plan on removing that fence on the Gordon Highway side of the building, at the entrance.
Right.
Yeah, we plan on removing that fence. And no, I don't think we have any kind of objection to not putting an 8-foot fence. We wouldn't do
Or
that.
move the fence more internal to the lot, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, we would take the one side would still have the fence. We would take it from both entrances and the front of the property, but one side of the front of the property would still have a fence, which is that piece right there.
Because what we have is several of the light industrials, they'll put the slats or the screening up, and the screening becomes, deteriorates and things of that nature. So that, I'm trying to, from a maintenance, future code enforcement issue.
Completely understand. Yeah, and the reason that we would like to keep that fence up and run it parallel down the parking lot to the back of the building is, of course, because wrecked cars will be there, and you always have the potential of kids getting into that area and getting stuck in a car in the heat. And we try to, with wrecked vehicles, with the screening, we try to block the eyesore of a wrecked vehicle sitting on that lot. So that's why we always put screening, and that's why you always see screening at auto body shops for that purpose.
There's also the request for trees.
Yeah.
So,
All right, sir, that leads to staff's recommendation. The planning and development staff is recommending approval to amend the conditions of light industrial zoning impacting 1810 and 1812 Gordon Highway with the following conditions. Number one, that the petitioner acknowledges the regulation on automobile body and fender repair outlined in section 23 of the comprehensive zoning ordinance, which includes but is not limited to that all repair, work, and vehicle storage shall be conducted within an area enclosed on all sides by a solid wall or finished fence not more than 6 feet in height. In addition, all repair work shall be conducted indoors. And number three, per section 5-1 of the comprehensive zoning ordinance, should improvements to the site exceed 50% of the valuation as determined by the Board of Assessors at such time as the plans are submitted to Augusta, Georgia for review, the non-conforming setback shall be invalidated and therefore require review and approval of a setback reduction by the Board of Zoning Appeals before improvements may commence. Additionally, expansion of the building footprint or construction of additional buildings shall automatically trigger variance review. And condition number 4, a 20-foot wide planting strip with medium canopy trees shall be installed along the entirety of the street frontage along Gordon Highway. That's to help with the screening. And then number 5, redevelopment of the property shall comply with all development standards and regulations set forth by Augusta, Richmond County at the time of development. And this concludes staff's recommendation.
Sir, do you accept those recommendations from staff?
Yes, sir.
All right, Chair will entertain a motion.
Move to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the ayes have it. Next item on the agenda is Z-25-15, and it is a petition by Kevin McDade requesting a rezoning from zone residential manufactured home to zone B2 general business in order to develop an event venue affecting properties containing approximately 10.34 acres located at 4149 and 4159 Woodard Avenue. This is on page 56 in your packet. Staff will give more details.
Kevin Boyd, Development Services Manager. This rezoning request consists of 2 adjacent residential tracts with a combined area of 10.34 acres. Petition involves a change in zoning from RMH manufactured home residential to B2 general business to establish a commercial event venue. The properties are situated on Woodward Avenue, approximately 298 feet north of the intersection with Travis Road. This conceptual site plan, or the conceptual site plan presented with the rezoning application proposes the following. A 30-foot wide driveway with an entrance that connects to Woodward Avenue, gated access with a 4-foot tall 3-rail farm fence along the front property line, a new 85-foot by 120-foot or 10,020 square foot, 10,200 square foot metal building, creation of a small 6-foot deep pond, minimum 25-foot buffers along all boundaries of the tracts, and several amenities. This is to include a garden, cover altar area, large creek patio area, and walking paths. 1 to 3 cottages for overnight stay, and 1 to 2 support buildings for maintenance and an administrative office, in addition to the main event building. And the staff findings, the properties are currently vacant. There are no recent zoning history for the subject properties. The properties can be served by both public potable water system and public sanitary sewer system. The Georgia Department of Transportation Functional Classification Map 2017 classified this section of Woodard Avenue as a local residential street. There are no traffic or transit routes or stops located within a half mile of the properties. The properties are located outside of the 100-year special flood hazard area, and there are no wetlands located on the properties. The conceptual site plan with this application shows a 30-foot wide driveway along with a new entrance connecting to Woodard Avenue. And it also proposes 2 100 by 200 gravel areas designated for off-street parking. And off-street parking is also planned near the main building. The site does not include individual parking spaces or parking dimensions. The applicant plans to obtain a local or a liquor license to support various functions held on the properties. This will include social events, weddings, life milestones, indoor-outdoor gathering space, and meeting place for organizations and business functions. Staff finds that the change of zoning to B2 will be consistent with the 2023 comprehensive plan, and at the time of completion of the staff report, staff have received a few inquiries regarding this petition. That concludes staff's presentation.
Thank you. Is the petitioner present? So if you come forward and give us your name, address, and any new details on your project.
My name is Kevin McDade. I live at 85 Setters Court, North Augusta, South Carolina. So this is a phased project, and most of it is going to be dependent on financing, of course. The overall concept is going to be the same. Right now, my goal was to get it approved by the commission, potentially, in order to go on with the next phase of getting financing and finish the actual design. So there's 2 buildings, and it depends on the financing available. I've been working with the Small Business Development Center to kind of shore up the business plan and things like that. But that's all I have, unless you have any questions.
Commissioners, do you have any questions of the petitioner? All right, seeing none, anybody in opposition? Okay. Anybody in support? All right, would anybody from the opposition like to speak on this petition? All right, gentlemen, you have a balance of 10 minutes if you would make your comments directly to the Planning Commission. All right, all right. Just give us your name and address for the record.
Michael Boswell, 4160 Woodard Avenue. And I actually, in the beginning, and he knows, I signed this petition for it to happen. I think it was a day I wasn't on my meds, I think. I do take meds for depression and stuff. And he did catch me in a mood that I was just out of it. So I would like to, I hate to say it, after talking to all the neighbors and stuff, take my name off your petition, please, sir.
Sir, if you could just make your comments to
All
us.
right, real quick. Originally, me and my wife moved down here for retirement home. It's nice where we're at. It's nice, peaceful, quiet. Most of the folks that are in there are older folks or some younger folks, kids. And bringing in an establishment like this, I don't know if you guys have been to weddings, but there hasn't been one wedding that I left where I was actually sober. I hate to say it, and I know there's going to be some drinking and driving going on. No one in here could tell me there's not going to be no drinking and driving. And it's kind of, the roads are kind of, I mean, they're regular roads, but there's no curbs or whatever to prevent somebody from going through somebody's house. So I'm going to leave it at that. This gentleman been here longer than me, and they could give you some whatever. Go ahead, man.
Hi, my name is Alonzo Hudson. I live at 4165 Woodard Avenue. I've been there for about 18 years. It's a very quiet community, a lot of children. I don't think that, first of all, this property it's a dead-end street. I think that's a problem. The other thing is there's no sidewalks. It's very country, which we love. And an event like this, I don't think it's really, it's not a good idea.
Good afternoon. I'm Al Haddon. I own the property at 4165 Woodard Avenue. This is a residential area. We do not need a business in that area. There's other business districts, and I welcome it over there, but not in a residential area and a dead-end road where there's a neighborhood. Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Brian Rowan. I'm 2261 Travis Road, right around the corner where this post site is. Excuse me. I don't think introducing a venue where brings alcohol into the area of the residential area is good. We have quite a few different age groups of children there. They have a bus stop right there at the corner. And like they said, no sidewalks. This is a dead-end street, and I don't think this is a good idea. So, in fact, my neighbor who was over there before he moved in actually had his house driven into by a car driven by a drunk driver. So I would appreciate if you all would go ahead and decline this. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, gentlemen, anything else before we close the comments from the opposition? All right, if that is all, sir, you have an opportunity to respond to those concerns.
So I would like to say that as far as weddings, people do not go there to be a drunkard and driving, although, you know, there's opportunities to drink. But when you have a celebration like that, you're not out at a bar just getting wasted and driving home. You know, celebrations of life are more of a happy occasion. They're there to celebrate and not to cause havoc in the community. I've had other people sign a petition, including one of the gentlemen that spoke. I walked around and talked to everyone in the neighborhood a couple Saturdays to get a feel for it. And I would say that there was one person in particular that was adamant about not being forthcoming. That person told me about a apartment complex that was designed to be built there. And it seems to me, and it's just my opinion, that he didn't have a problem with that. All right. As far as the dead end, the property doesn't go past, it's the dead end is up the street. So they're not going to be driving down to the dead end. So I don't understand why that's an issue. Like I said, I'm investing a lot of personal money into this. I am not here to cause problems or see it fail. I've spent thousands of dollars already just to get to this point. I'm not sure what I can do or say to ease your concerns. If there's alcohol, there would be law enforcement on site. And I have to actually get a license for alcohol, and that's
Sir, if you
another
could
process.
just direct your
So-
comments to us, thank you.
Yeah, so I do have to get a license for alcohol. And that's an ongoing thing, so.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Spencer, you have a question or a comment?
I have a question for staff, and they may not be able to answer this one, but there's two similar venues that I'm aware of. Kind of, one is off Windsor Spring Road, and the other one is a little bit further off of Tobacco and behind the old hospital. Have they had problems with drunk driving or complaints or anything like that?
I would not be able to provide factual information in regards to drunk driving. But I am aware of a wedding venue of a similar nature that's further out within the county. But I also want to remind the Planning Commission that just the rezoning in and of itself does not entitle anyone to an alcohol license. That's a separate application and a decision made solely by the Augusta Commission.
Thank you.
Commissioners, is that all? Okay, we'll move to staff recommendations.
All right, so, and just for a point of reference, the edge of the property is about 750 feet from the intersection of Travis Road. So there's a little bit of separation there. It is closer to that intersection at Travis Road than it is to the dead end portion. So Planning and Development staff is recommending approval of the rezoning request to general business with the following conditions. There are 10 of them. The development must substantially conform to the concept plan and elevations submitted with this rezoning application. Number 2, the applicant must comply with all related aspects of the Augusta Tree Ordinance. Number 3, any proposed lighting fixtures must be directed downward and not toward buildings. Number 4, they must maintain a 50-foot undisturbed buffer along the southwest property line. Number 5, installation of a 6-foot privacy fence along the southwest property line is required. Number 6, driveway access at a minimum shall be 40 feet. And paved if engineering requires it. Number 7, stormwater management plan will be necessary at the time of site plan submission. Number 8, installation of a gravel parking lot will need to meet the standards and regulations set forth by the Augusta Richmond County Engineering Department at the time of development. Number 9, approval of this rezoning request does not constitute approval of the conceptual site plan submitted with the rezoning application. The proposed development shall obtain site plan approval in compliance with the site plan regulations of Augusta, Georgia prior to construction commencing on the property. And then number 10, development of the property shall comply with all development standards and regulations set forth by the City of Augusta, Richmond County at the time of development. And this concludes staff's recommendation.
Sir, do you accept those recommendations from staff?
I do.
All right, Chair will entertain a motion.
I recommend approval.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded.
All right, we have a motion to approve Z 2515 with staff recommendations by Spencer and Owens. All in favor of the approval, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Gentleman who spoke, this will go before the full commission on the 15th of April. So you will have another opportunity if you would like to voice your concerns. This is just a recommendation from this body. All righty, that brings us to the next item on our agenda, and that is item number 8, Z-25-16. It's a petition by Alan B. Mealing requesting rezoning from Zone R1A to Zone Light Industrial to develop a storage yard for commercial vehicles affecting property containing approximately 3.77 acres located at 3035 Old McDuffie Road. It's on page 73 in your packet. Staff will give further details.
All right. This petition concerns a parcel located along the north side of Old McDuffie Road, around a quarter-mile west of the road's division at Bobby Jones Expressway, I-520. While the property is zoned for single-family use, it's our Zone R1A, there are no residential structures on site. The property owner has used the property heretofore to store commercial vehicles. The petitioner is seeking rezoning of the property to light industrial to maintain this use, which is not permitted by R1A zoning, and to make site improvements. The subject property is located within the South Augusta character area. The 2023 update to the comprehensive plan identifies limiting expansion of LI zoning within South Augusta. This request would expand the footprint of LI zoning in the area and is therefore inconsistent with the recommendations of the comprehensive plan. This segment of Old McDuffie Road is classified by the Georgia Department of Transportation as a local road. Old McDuffie Road is not serviced by public transit. There are public water lines established along Old McDuffie Road, but there are no nearby sewer lines. Property adjacent to the subject property is also zoned one-family residential. Property located across Old McDuffie Road is a mix of manufactured home residential and agricultural. Use of these properties appears to be recreational space for Glen Hills Middle School, a clearing space, and a church. Land directly behind the subject property at 2336 New McDuffie Road is zoned heavy industrial. The subject property does not feature any wetlands, nor is it situated within any special flood hazard areas. And as of the composition of this report, staff had not received any inquiries from the public concerning this application. The Utilities Department does note that there is an 8-inch water line available for use on the property and that no sewer is available. That concludes presentation.
Thank you. Is the petitioner present? Sir, and/or ma'am, if you would come forward and give us your name and address and any new details on your project.
All right, good afternoon. My name is LaFawn Pinckney Mealing, 2948 Rolling Wood Drive.
Alan Mealing, 2948 Rolling Wood Drive, Augusta, Georgia.
All right. Thank you for the opportunity to present our request for the rezoning of 3035 Old McDuffie Road. The sole purpose of this request is to accommodate a storage yard for a fleet of vehicles owned by Alan Mealing, the principal of Mealing Ventures, LLC. Mealing Ventures, LLC is a hauling company that was established in 2016. Since 2019, Mealing Ventures has been awarded and has successfully executed multiple hauling projects servicing both Augusta-Richmond County and the Georgia Department of Transportation. Centralizing our vehicle storage will provide a permanent remedy for where our trucks are parked. It would provide consistent and safe access for company drivers and overall asset protection as the fleet continues to grow. There is a plan to have light poles and cameras installed and activated. Light industrial zoning, from what we can understand, is compatible with adjacent land uses, specifically 2336 New McDuffie Road and 3020 Old McDuffie Road. So you have a landfill, and then you have a dirt pit on that road. Millings Ventures has a strong business-to-business history with both of those landowners. The approval of this request would not introduce any new disruption to the surrounding community. We respectfully request your support, and we thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Commissioners, do you have questions for the petitioner? All right, Commissioner Malice.
What type of vehicles? Are they just dump trucks? Are they going to be 18-wheelers, or what is that?
Just dump trucks, specifically Milling Venture dump trucks. Nobody else. It's just our fleet of vehicles.
So no long-haul drivers or like they?
Dump trucks.
Just strictly dump trucks. Thank you.
Commissioner O'Neill.
How long have you been using this particular lot to park your vehicles?
10 years. It's about 10 years.
Okay.
About 10 years. Okay, and it was a recent code enforcement that brought it to this stage here, or?
To get electricity?
Yeah, I was trying to get some power down there for light, for some cameras.
Okay, and that's when they let you know that you were out of compliance for the land use? Okay, thank you.
Just want to get it, in compliance and
Yeah, we just
get
didn't
it up
know.
to code,
We knew it wouldn't be a mobile home lot anymore, right? And again, this is a minority-owned small business in Augusta. We're Augusta natives, and we need somewhere to park our trucks, right? Somewhere safe for our drivers to access the vehicles, and not having it would create a problem for us.
One other question, how many vehicles are you anticipating putting on this lot?
Less than 10. So right now, our fleet is 6.
Thank you. Is there a building there already that your truck drivers use for office or restroom capacity? Is just a,
No, it's just the parking of the trucks. And then the truck drivers park their cars there while they're off on the jobs.
you mentioned before about your adjacent properties. Do you all help the other property owners with their, is that how this had come to be? I see the lot or the rock quarry there.
Mm-hmm.
You're shipping for them?
Yeah, we carry for them, Chaplain and Sons, yeah.
For the
And get
last-
dirt from the dirt pit.
Okay, but you have been operating out from that lot for the last 10 years. Thank you.
Commissioner Davis. Okay.
I have a question.
Commissioner Spencer.
On the frontage, are you opposed to having trees or bushes just for won't be, first thing you're seeing coming down Old McDuffie Road with the, your trucks?
Yeah, so it's not the first, so this lot would not be the first thing you see. You actually see some really not well-kept stuff, but we don't have a problem with putting up bushes, installing. So, yeah, no problem with that.
All right. Anybody in the audience opposed? Okay. Support? All right. Seeing nothing else, staff recommendations.
All right, I'm working on an alternative one too, so if you'll allow me a moment, sir. All right, so the Planning and Development staff has recommended denial of the request to rezone the property to light industrial, as this would not be consistent with the recommended development patterns in South Augusta as outlined in 2023 update of the Augusta-Richmond County Comprehensive Plan. However, should the Planning Commission seek to approve this application, staff would recommend the following. Number one, that trees shall be, a 20-foot planting strip shall be required along the frontage of Old McDuffie Road. Trees shall be of a medium to large size. Number two, no vehicle shall be parked or worked on or serviced within 50 feet of Old McDuffie Road. And this would conclude staff's recommendation.
Okay. The chair will entertain a motion.
I would like to motion that we approve the usage per Director Delaney's recommendations.
Yeah, well,
if they agree.
Okay, yeah, I was getting to that. If I got the proper motion in second, I was gonna ask the petitioner, do they accept the recommendations for the approval?
Yes.
Okay, so there has been a proper motion and a second, and the petitioner accepts the staff recommendations.
All right, so that was a motion by O'Neill and Spencer to approve Z 2516 with staff recommendations, 2 recommendations. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say no. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate your support.
All right, moving on, we in the home stretch.
Okay. Next item on the agenda, excuse me. Next item on the agenda is number 11, page 99. It's a special exception 25-04, a petition by Selena Lofton on behalf of Christopher Wright requesting a special exception per section 26-1 of the comprehensive zoning ordinance to establish a family personal care home with 6 clients affecting property containing approximately 0.24 acres located at 3622 Sternaday Drive. Staff will present.
Rachel Martin, Planning Projects Coordinator, Planning and Development. This special exception pertains to a 0.24 acre property located in the subdivision, the Southdale subdivision, and is posted and is zoned R1C, one family residential. The property features a 1-story, 1,400 square foot residence that was constructed in 1977. The applicant is seeking approval of a special exception to increase the capacity from 3 to 6 clients at an established family personal care home on the property. In your packet, you will see all the requirements of section 28-F-3B, which are the home design requirements for a family personal care home. They are listed there and in compliance. The applicant proposes to establish a family personal care home providing care for 6 residents. The residence contains 5 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, along with a living room, kitchen, and dining room combo, laundry room, and office. No additions have been proposed at this time. The home will be operated by 1 staff member per shift, which will care for a maximum of 6 clients. The nearest family personal care home is located approximately 1.6 miles of the subject property along Windsor Spring Road. Records indicate that a personal care home has been established on the property since 2017. Sternaday Drive is identified as a local road. The nearest bus route is on Deansbridge Road, located approximately 1.4 miles from the property. Public water and sewer are present in the area and currently in use at the property. The property is not located within a special flood hazard area, and there are no wetlands on the property. The proposal is consistent with surrounding land uses and consistent with aspects of the 2023 comprehensive plan. At the time of completion of this report, staff has not received any inquiries regarding this application. Thank you.
Thank you. Is the petitioner present? All right, if you could come forth and give us your name, address, and any new details on your project.
Hi, my name is Selena Lofton. I reside at 338 Stagecoach Way in Martinez, Georgia, 30907. No, I don't have anything new.
All right, thank you. Commissioners, you have any questions of the petitioner? Seeing none. Anybody opposed? No. Support? Okay, staff recommendations.
The Planning and Development staff is recommending approval of the special exception to establish a family personal care home with the following conditions. Number 1, the home shall be limited to no more than 6 residents with full supervision. Any live-in staff will be counted towards the maximum occupancy of the home. Number 2, successful completion of a code enforcement inspection is required before issuance of the business license. Number 3, the applicant must receive an updated City of Augusta business license for the expanded number of residents and continue to maintain a license with the state of Georgia. Proof of compliance with the minimum requirements of Chapter 290-2-5-18 of the OCGA must be provided, and the applicant must provide annual inspection reports. Number 4, the home shall be staffed and maintained in compliance with all State Department of Community Health regulations for a personal care home. And then number 5, no signage is permitted on the property. This concludes staff's recommendation.
Do you accept those staff recommendations?
Yes.
All right, Chair will entertain a motion.
Now it's a motion to approve special exception 2504 with staff recommendations by Davis and Owens. All in favor of the approval, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. Thank you.
All right, last but not least on the agenda is Z-25-18. It is a petition by the City of Augusta Planning and Development Department requesting a rezoning from Zone R1A, Family Residential, to Zone B1 to develop a community event center. It's not to develop a community event center. It's just how it could potentially be used. But we're, in essence, seeking to fix the zoning on this one. So this is on page 107 in your application, in your packet. And this one was initiated by me as the Director of Planning and Development. We have applications that sometimes come in which the zoning can be a bit ambiguous due to letters being used as opposed to official action being taken. So in regards to this particular application, the petition it involves a 1.45 acre parcel located at the corner of Milledgeville Road and Bayville Road. The Augusta Planning and Development staff initiated a request to rezone the property from R1A to B1 to allow for commercial uses. The property is currently zoned for residential use, but historically businesses have operated from the property, which traces back to prior to the adoption of the zoning ordinance. The property owner intends to expand the current use of the property and to establish a meeting space, just like, so with that being said, this is consistent with the comprehensive plan. They have had a letter since 2017 telling them that they could perform the functions of a B1 business without the zoning being changed. And so from that perspective, from a tracking, from a record keeping perspective, and from that of the property owners, it's ambiguous at best. So we've recommended to them that they allow us to put this before you to rezone it to B1. We don't have any code enforcement issues at this site. There's no issues from traffic, engineering, or utilities. So we are suggesting and recommending approval of the rezoning request based on the historical use which predates the zoning ordinance, and that with the following conditions: that the building must come into compliance with the minimum building codes prior to issuance of a business license, because in its current state it does not. And then number two, provide landscaping and individual planter boxes in front of the primary structure, and that would be to soften the aesthetics some. But while there might not be an open code enforcement case, there is room for improvement of this building. So we would like for them to bring it up to code also. And we did discuss this with the property owners when they talked about getting their business license and changing the use or expanding the use of the building. And that concludes staff's presentation.
Any questions or comments or concerns from the planning commissioners? And I imagine since Director Delaney is the petitioner, there's no need to go through that process. So I guess I'll entertain a motion.
To approve staff recommendations.
Second. All right, so that was a motion to approve Z-25-18 with staff recommendations, Owens and Malice. All in favor of the approval, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. Thank you.
Anything from the legal session?
Sammy Miller, Law Department, nothing for the legal session.
All right, can I get a motion to approve the minutes from the March 3rd, 2025 meeting?
Motion to approve.
I think.
All in favor of the approval of the March 25 minutes, say aye. Any opposed, say no. Thank you.
We adjourn at 5 o'clock. Look at that. Yeah, man, we did that thing.